What's going on, you guys? It's Resto, and in today's video I got a little treat for ya. So I came across a private server and we're going to do a little bit of review on it. I'm mainly prioritizing this towards twinking, so let's dive into it. So the server isn't necessarily directed towards twinking, it just has a huge community of twinks on this server, which makes it really nice for the people that are on Blizzard servers to be able to not only test out, different types of builds. Granted, we're not going to have grandfathered items, however, you are able to see how classes perform, how things are. Take this with a grain of salt. This server is kind of a little bit buggy, it is brand new. Granted, if you guys twinked on Whitemane, you guys should have a familiar mindset of how this server should be as well. There are a lot of people who play flavor of the month classes, so yes, that is annoying. However, a lot of those players backpedal, so take that with what you will. There's a lot of people on here that aren't very skillful, so if we have people doing from the current games that we have on retail or even on the Wrath of the Lich King servers, I feel like this server would bloom a lot in terms of being competitive. There is a lot of opportunity on this server in terms of gearing. It is super easy, very easy to grab all your stuff. When you loot things from chests, you get more than what you normally do. When you go and disenchant things, sometimes you get more shards than what you normally do. So it's very easy to gather materials. It's very easy to get your gear. Every single tune that I've geared, that's lower levels, I've geared within a day. Me personally, since this is free, I made 2 accounts. So I made my life a little bit easier. Speaking of easier, what's really nice about this server as well, since it is directed towards Cataclysm and not the other expansions, once you hit level 60, you will get something in the mail, a bunch of loot boxes for gear, and once you go ahead and loot that box, you instantly skip TBC and Wrath of the Lich King and jump straight to 80. So you don't have to grind from 60 to 80, you just jump straight to it. It takes me about 3 to 4 hours if we're looking on the weekend just to get there, so I mean, it's a super quick process. I've leveled up, I think, 8 tunes to 80 within a day, so you guys definitely can do it if I can do it. There's a lot of speed hacks in here as well for professions, so the same thing goes with the level 60 to 80 with professions as well. So what you're doing is you're only leveling up your profession to 300. The moment it ticks to 300, it immediately skips to 450, and then all you have to do is level up your cataclysm from 450 to 525, making profession grinding or looting or whatever you want to look at it super easy and easily obtainable to get a lot of things. When you guys go and level, like I mentioned before with what I did, definitely make 2 accounts, that way you guys are able to farm what you need for your twinks or even farm yourself through those. It's super easy to level, so you guys shouldn't have any issues doing so. Another big thing to notice within these games is that there is at least 1 twink in every single bracket. We're talking 10 through 14, 15 through 19, etc. Like every single bracket. Yes, in Cataclysm the brackets get split in half, but what's nice is there's a twink in every single bracket, which is pretty crazy to me. There may not be a lot of them, but you will come across 1 or 2 twinks while leveling. So what's nice is that those who want to twink in other brackets on the Wrath of the Lich King servers but can't because there's not a population or queue pop, definitely can queue on this server. Granted, some queues are faster than others due to the bracket population. You got to understand that there's not a lot of twinks in every single bracket, so you're gonna have to bank off levelers joining your game to get those queues to pop. However, when they do, the lowest that it'll go into is a 5v5 and then eventually to a 10v10. There are some times of the day that are slower. This is a EU server, so the time frame is going to be a little bit different for those playing on NA. So you got to take that with consideration as well when you guys are going to queue your battlegrounds. Another thing that I want to mention that I feel like is worth saying is you don't have to leave Orgrimmar. Everything is in Org in terms of vendors and everything else that you need, auction house, etc. You know what I mean? So when you guys are wanting to go buy your honor gear, they actually put the AB vendors, the Warsong Golds vendors, and the AV vendors all in the same area in Orgrimmar, so it's all in the same area as well for the endgame PvP vendors. So it's basically all in the same room. They put vendors near the front entrance, that way you guys don't have to go around running around. It makes twinking a little bit easier in terms of buying that gear. You just hang out in your home city without having to run around outside of actually having to go farm your gear. Now, in terms of competitiveness and population, I know I mentioned before that it's not really that competitive due to the lack of skill on the server. The most population in terms of twinking is the 80 through 84 bracket. There are so many people on that bracket, mainly because everyone's skipping from 60 to 80, but there is a lot of twinks in there. 19s is also a good bracket, and believe it or not, 20 through 24 actually has some people in there as well. And then I would say what also competes for population is the 55 through 59 bracket, just right before you hit 60. Now, in terms of the 80 through 84, there is a big competition there. There are some really good close-knit games that just gets my heart pumping. So if you guys are a big fanatic of those type of games, 80 through 84 would be your go-to. Same thing like I mentioned before, it's super easy to gear. A lot of the gear comes from dungeons, some of it from the quest lines, so it's super easy to get the gear from there. In terms of gold, guys, gold's super easy to get as well. You guys shouldn't worry about that. If you guys are doing quest lines and leveling up that way, or just going and farming some dungeons, you'll easily get the gold that you need, or you can go do the Tolbarad dailies. The dailies are bumped up in terms of gold reward, I want to say by like times 10. So instead of getting like 5 gold, you're getting like 56 to 60 gold depending on the quest that you're doing. Plus you're gonna have a lot of gear drop from the mobs that you can sell in the auction house that always sell. May not sell the first go around, but it will sell the next time, so just keep posting it on the auction house. People do buy that stuff, whether it's to get item level to queue dungeons or to go ahead and disenchant or whatever the case is. So definitely go ahead and check that out if you guys are trying to farm gold as well. As mentioned before, the biggest reason why I wanted to make a video on this server is to kind of get more faces from the current games that we play right now over on Wrath Lich King Classic into the server as well. I really feel like this is going to be a great opportunity for a lot of people to be able to test the new characters, or not the new characters, but the new spells, the new builds, etc. So that way we can kind of be a little bit more prepared when CATACLYSM comes out. I'm firmly believing it's going to. They're already sending out surveys. So if you guys are interested, I'll go ahead and leave the link down below so that way you guys can go ahead and make an account, try it out. I do have a guild that I made. It is currently level 1. Ranking it up as we go, so if you guys want to join that, just feel free to shoot me a DM if you guys see me in game. Other than that, it's been Resto, guys. See you guys next time.